once again live from Moore Gymnasium here on the campus of Bethune-Cookman University in Daytona Beach, Florida. It's time for our second broadcast of tonight's doubleheader featuring the Bethune-Cookman Wildcats and the Jackson State Tigers in a game that is pretty much must win for the Wildcats, as they all are from here on out. The Wildcats 5-7 in the SWAC after a heart-rending defeat to Alcorn State on Saturday. They are back to try and prove the doubters wrong against the 7-5 Jackson State Tigers. My name is Michael Trillo. I'm once again joined by Eric Dennis. Eric, so much almost went right on Saturday as the Wildcats were just 2 points shy of toppling the number 1 team in the SWAC. Now the number 4 team comes in tonight. Same as before. Same mindset as before. It has to be.
Yeah, in the first meeting, we came up 4 points short at Jackson State with a score of 70-66. We've played them close away. Let's see if we can score at least one more point than them when the clock reads all zeros a couple hours from now.
Starting lineup for Bethune-Cookman is the same as it has been over the last couple of games. We've got Harmon, Davis, Garrett, French, and Henderson. But remember, Dylan Robinson is healthy. He played some quality minutes off the bench against the Braves on Saturday. Expect to see him feature more and more as the season winds down.
Yeah, and we should see his conditioning at a little bit better level in this game. That first game coming back after being out for so long, he should have his sea legs under him a little bit better this game tonight.
With the traditional Hail Wildcats chant, well done by our PA announcer Harold, and this packed house at Moore Gymnasium, we are underway. The Jackson State Tigers wear the blue trimmed in red. They attack the basket to listeners left. And Bethune-Cookman in the home gold. I love a good color-on-color matchup on the hardwood. Backdoor from Mansell to Young, and there's Colty Young, the top scorer for Jackson State, averaging 10.6 per game.
Nice give and go by Jackson State to get the first bucket of the game.
Harmon to Kevin Davis. The Wildcats had the 3-ball humming against Alcorn on Saturday. That one from Harmon blocked by Mansell. He had a terrific performance against Florida A&M, scored 23 points.
Mansell's contributed heavily so far in these opening minutes with a block shot and an assist.
Evans Jr. a 3. There's Ken Evans. There are 3 players on this roster scoring exactly 10 points per game. It's Ken Evans Jr., Trace Young, who's not playing, and Colty Young.
And they jump out to a 5-0 start. Evans with the 3.
As I said, the Wildcats had the 3-pointer fall in left, right, and center, hit 16 triples on Saturday. Marcus Garrett stops, turns, and can't get that left-hand layup to go. Nice screen set by Mansell. Evans reached in on by Zion.
Yeah, Zion got caught with the hip check, slowing the progress of the Jackson State player Evans, and it's going to be side out of bounds, 20 on the shot clock for Jackson State.
Slow start for the Wildcats, 0 for 2 from the floor, and both really contested shots. We haven't gotten an open look yet, whereas Jackson State has gotten an easy layup and an open 3. Young on the baseline to Mansell. Backing down Henderson. Catch and shoot for Adams. It's good.
Yeah, right now Jackson State being patient in their offense, running it through the low post 2 times through Hansel, who's gotten 2 assists off of those low post feeds.
Garrett running the offense. Henderson out on top to Zion Harmon. French stops, floats it back to Zion 10 to shoot. Waves away the screen from Kevin Davis. Goes at the defender himself, floats it up and in. And that's the kind of shots that were not falling for Harmon on Saturday. Only 5 points for Zion.
Yeah, great individual offense to recognize the shot clock was running down, and he takes it to the hoop and gets the floater. 8-2, Wildcats behind.
Nice double team by Garrett and Henderson. Evans tried to step back 3. French was all over him like jam on bread. But wide open is Zeke Cook, and the forward misses a 3 at the horn.
Here come the Wildcats. Oh, we just missed Joe.
Well, they go for the corner. Kevin Davis can't hit the three.
Nice escape dribble by Kevin to get the wide open jumper, just didn't fall.
Screen and three for Colty Young. He is the best three-point shooter in the SWAC on volume. He hits 33% of them, but he has over 200 attempts.
Yeah, set play by them in the secondary offense where the big sets the screen as they're coming up the floor to get the wide open early offensive three, and he put it in.
2 for 3 from beyond the arc early for the Tigers. The Wildcats just look a bit out of sorts at the moment, down by 9. Harmon to Henderson. French is open for 3 in the corner. The entire building rises up and explodes.
Yeah, anytime Joe French is that wide open, he's going to have a good shot at making that three. Nice assist by Henderson to set that up, and good play by Zion to recognize and get the ball to Henderson in the high post.
Evans, extra pass from Mansell, and another three, this time for Adams.
Yeah, they are knocking the bottom out. You know, as a team, they're shooting, I think, 30% from the three.
Well, right now they've got 80% from three.
Yeah, hopefully they've used them all up as this game goes on.
Harmon through traffic. French again in the corner. This time he drives, tries to throw it off the backboard, and it won't go. That's another tough contested shot. Ken Evans Jr. tries to get around Henderson, and James strips the ball. In transition, Garrett pulls up and drains it.
Smart play by Garrett not to go with the big. Just take the 10, 15-footer. Nice play by the Wildcats.
And we talked a lot about that in the women's game. And the BC women, against a much larger team, didn't take enough of those stop-and-pop opportunities.
Yeah, that's a high percentage shot for Garrett, so he was smart to recognize it and take it.
Young, the best three-point shooter in the conference, misses that one.
Davis brings down the board. Here come the Wildcats.
Zion. Between the legs, driving, putting it up, and getting the foul.
Nice draw, the foul by Zion Harmon to split the defenders and get to the line for 2.
And here we go. It's the first time we're going to hear the BCU pep band as we hit the first media timeout under 15 minutes. And enjoy the atmosphere for about 30 seconds. We haven't had the pep band in here before tonight, Eric. They've been up at a competition training for and competing in Atlanta, but finally their fulfillments are done, and we can hear the glorious tones of the BCU pep band here at Moore Gymnasium.
And it isn't just the music, it's the show that they put on while they're playing their music. Tremendous leadership and coordination by them to bring the fans an exciting atmosphere at the football games and here in Moore Gymnasium.
I told you it's a packed house. There are very few empty spaces on the bleacher seats upstairs and the individual seating downstairs here at Moore Gymnasium.
Yep, and a couple celebrities in the stands here tonight. Derek Fiecher, city manager for the city of Daytona Beach. We've got Denny Hinson, the unofficial mayor here from DeLand, Florida, watching the game. So it's a great environment here at Moore Gymnasium.
Hey, Wildcat fans, Pepsi is a proud sponsor of Bethune-Cookman University. Make sure to visit the concession stands located in the main lobby to grab an ice cold Pepsi today. Pepsi, it's refreshingly good. Hot start for the Tigers of Jackson State. 4 of 6 from 3, 5 for 7 from the floor. So 4 of their 5 field goals have been threes. BCU just trying to hang on through an early assault as Zion Harmon goes to the free throw line and misses the first one short. He's shooting 83% from the line on the season.
And we've talked about it previously. You know, when you have to stay in it when you're shooting free throws. That time he came out of his form. There he stays with it, and then he gets the results.
BCU back down by just 6. Got to count a couple of nice defensive possessions. Head coach Reggie Theus has not made a substitution yet, but again, expect to see Dylan Robertson in short order in this first half. Young wearing the headband, hands to Jamarcus Jones underneath Mansell, and he gets absolutely rejected by James Henderson.
James Henderson came over from the weak side to help and get the block after the shot fake by Mansell. Good recovery by Henderson.
James has been playing a pretty good game, has a nifty assist to Joe, and then that swat in the early going.
10 on the shot clock. Hope we recognize it.
Damani McIntyre, that's Marcus Garrett. 3 to shoot. Garrett pulls up. Oh, it almost went. Henderson grabs the board. Fresh 20 for the Cats. Garrett, floater, yes.
Nice play by Henderson to give us a second opportunity. Good swing around. Marcus Garrett on the drive and 2 points.
Henderson already 2 rebounds and a block. Down low here is Jamarcus Jones. Kick out Mansell for 3. It's good.
Yeah, he looked like he did that on purpose. Nice shot, nice patience, good ball movement by them. Again, they went inside out for that 3-point shot by Mansell. Good offense by Jackson State.
Ramel Mansell, a California kid from Los Angeles and previously was at Long Beach State. Marcus Garrett against him now in the corner. Marcus led the team in scoring on Saturday with 16. He's going to try a 3. It's no good. Davis taps it out to Harmon. Harmon gets his defender in the air, finds French. This is a moonshot. It's no good.
Yeah, Joe could have come in and dribble a little closer, but he makes them from there.
All the way into the paint is Adams, and the bank is open.
Adams with a high archer over. Good defense by Davis. Nice shot, kiss off the glass. 2 points for Jackson.
6 of 9 to begin the game for Jackson State, just 4 of 11 for BCU. Henderson wide open for 3. French stops, fires good. So French is second.
Anytime he can take that much time again, wide open, and another assist to Henderson.
And the defender didn't even close out until he was in his motion.
Yeah, and Joe had enough time to take a relaxed dribble and get into a good shooting rhythm.
2 for 6 from the 3-point line now for Bethune-Cookman. Underneath it goes, and this time Davis is called for the foul as Jamarcus Jones, the senior forward from Sardis, Mississippi, goes up with it. And we will hit the second media timeout. We'll take it with them and come right back here to more gymnasium. It's free throws for Jackson State, who already lead at 19-13 right here on the Cat Eye Network. Nike is the official outfitter of Bethune-Cookman University Athletics. Gear up with the newest BCU Nike gear at nike.com/Bethune-Cookman Wildcats. Well, it's been a really hot start to the game for the Jackson State Tigers. They lead at 19-13 and are at the line for a couple more. And it's been Adams that has really led the way. He's got 8 points early.
Yeah, he is playing a tremendous game so far at the 11 minutes and 52nd point in the first half. Just just a tremendous athlete, tremendous ball player, and he's putting it on us, hurting us right now, but we're only down 6.
It's the transfer from Southern, Jamarcus Jones at the free throw line. First one misses. He actually is the leading field goal percentage shooter for Jackson State at 65.8%. He's a transfer from Southern, but has spent the last 2 years in Jackson, Mississippi.
And he gets the roll on that one.
And he can put it on, too, number 31. Had a career-high 26 points this season against Alcorn State.
Wildcats break that press easily. Marcus Garrett smartly does not attack. Jackson State drops back into his zone.
Henderson back to Zion. 9 to shoot, not a lot of movement from the Wildcats off the ball. Garrett catches and fires and hits.
Nice skip pass by Kevin Davis to get it to Marcus Garrett for the three-pointer. Wildcats close to 4.
And it's going to be important not to let this Jackson State team get away, because you know they can shoot the lights out of the building, so the Wildcats are going to have to be just as good on the offensive side. Here's Ken Evans Jr., one of the 10-point per game scorers for the Tigers. Underneath to Jones, and it's put home.
Nice defense by Joe French that time to cut off the driver, but on the swing, they got the open shot.
Davis steps into a 3, knocks it down!
Nice early offense by the Wildcats to get Davis in his rhythm. Assist Zion Harmon.
Davis had 3 3-pointers on Saturday. Almost a backcourt violation against Kevion Hunt, who's got Marcus Garrett draped all over them. They're going to get Garrett for a push.
Oh, I thought it was a 5-second count.
It couldn't have been a 5-second count. He was moving the whole time. Although we've seen stranger things in this building this year. I'm surprised we haven't seen any substitutions yet from BCU.
Jackson State into a weave against our man. Now they attack left side, right
Ken
side.
Evans Jr. against French, can't hit. And it's going to be an offensive foul.
Yep. Henderson had position, and Jones came in from the weak side.
Over the back.
Over the back of Henderson. Good position by him. Good play by the freshman.
I've been impressed with Henderson so far this game.
Yeah, you know, we talked about it in the past, how well coached he's been in high school, and then once he's got here, he's had tremendous teaching from the coaching staff here as well. He's a great position basketball player, very smart there in the post, offensively and defensively.
Is that an offensive foul? Yes.
You know, Zion did that a couple times in the last game too, where he attacks, creates, get past, and then he jumps in the air to kick it to the open man, and the defender draws the charge. All he's got to do is jump stop on that kick, and we'll be okay.
Deshaun Dyson comes in the game to replace Zion Harmon, who is basically getting exactly what you just told me from Coach Reggie Theus, but with a little more emphasis.
Yeah,
Coach
Theus. Coach Theus, good coaching there as the young man comes out of the game.
And they're going to get Dyson for a foul, I think.
I think they are talking about the shot clock, maybe. Let's see. There's something going on here.
Well, play has temporarily stopped. And the ball's going to go to the Wildcats. I have no idea what just happened.
Well, he definitely pushed off with his forearm to clear space.
Yep, that's exactly what they did. They called the foul on
I didn't really think
Johnson.
it was much of a foul, but because of the next contact, they had to make that call because it was a reaction by Deshaun Dyson. Good call by the referees.
We got Dylan Robertson in the game. Here's Dyson stepping back, can't hit. And they call Davis for a reach.
Yeah, you know, those are the kind of fouls you don't want to see unless you know you can poke it away clean. You're 94 feet away from the bucket. And those fouls, if you get the steal, it's great, but it's not a high percentage play. Kevin Davis will make up for it, I'm sure.
Already 5 fouls on Bethune-Cookman in the first half with over 9 minutes to go. So Jackson State close to being in the single bonus.
Yep. And Dylan Robertson into the game.
Expect some Robertson rim-rocking dunks. Off the weave, Ken Evans Jr., extra pass down low to Johnson, and that's his second bucket.
Yeah, Johnson, big, strong young man down there. Easy jump hook, easy bucket, set up by the penetration and assist.
Wildcats hovering between 6 and 4 points behind over the past couple of minutes. Marcus Garrett, their leading scorer, with 7. He's got the ball now. Got to get somewhere with the ball. He does to Dyson, 10 to shoot. Dyson is going to get Kevion Hunt called for the reach. Kevion Hunt playing in his hometown, a native of Jackson, Mississippi. And he won a 5A state title senior year at Callaway High School in Jackson, and was head coach Mo Williams' first commit after becoming head coach less than 24 hours after signing that contract.
Yep. And defensive specialist Damani McIntyre checks into the game for the Wildcats.
Everybody clears out to let Marcus Garrett go to work against Ken Evans Jr. 5 to shoot. He pulls up. It's off to the right. And the smallest guy on the floor, Chase Adams at 5'8", grabs the rebound.
Yeah, he had good position when he came in there. He was backed in there by Deshaun Dyson. Coach Theus wanted a post-up play, but Marcus had the open shot.
Evans against French. That's a tough job defensively for Joe.
Yeah, he's playing tough defense tonight. I love it.
Jones against McIntyre, back out for a catch and shoot 3. Too strong for Hunt. Out of bounds, Wildcat ball. And since I mentioned him, let's talk about the aforementioned Mo Williams, former Mr. Basketball at Murrah High School in Jackson, played 2 college seasons at Alabama. Before, spending a little bit of time, 14 years in the NBA.
Yeah, and like Coach Theus, they both spent some time at Cal State Northridge as coaches. Reggie as the head coach, Coach Williams as the assistant.
Not at the same time, huh?
No, not at the same time. Coach Williams was there under Mark Gottfried when he was the head coach there.
Deshaun Dyson breaks some ankles and gets a tough roll off the backboard. We go to immediate timeout. Stay up to date with everything Bethune-Cookman Athletics by checking out the Wildcats on social media. Give BCU Athletics a like on Facebook and follow the Wildcats on Twitter and Instagram at BCU_athletics. For the latest on BCU men's basketball, follow at BCU Hoops on Twitter.
Yeah, and Coach Mo Williams, a very good NBA player, played for the Clippers, the Blazers, the Hornets,
and the Cavaliers.
And spent most of his time with the Cleveland Cavaliers,
where he won a championship in 2016.
With, what's the name of that guy?
LeBron James.
LeBron James, yeah.
Only the leading scorer in NBA history. That was the great 3-1 comeback finals against the Warriors where LeBron James blocked the shot off the backboard to seal the win in Game 7.
And we're not going to give you the answer, fans out there, but a great debate that's been going on in the Bethune-Cookman University basketball offices these last couple games is since LeBron James has become the leading all-time scorer in NBA history, is who's the GOAT? Is it LeBron or is it Jordan? And we're not going to give you the answer. We know the answer here, but we're not going to give you fans the answer.
I think everybody has their own opinions on what the answer is, right? And I know I have my opinion. You have your opinion. We probably share an opinion, but some of the younger generation, who weren't around when Michael Jordan was playing.
My answer is Wilt Chamberlain.
Well, then we don't share an opinion. I mean, Wilt Chamberlain is a pretty good choice,
the greatest individual talent, dominating talent in the history of the league. But then you got a ton of others. I mean, it is, like you said, Mike smartly said, it's an opinion, right?
5-point lead for Jackson State and the ball out of the timeout. Important note that BCU does have the possession arrow. Wayward pass. Garrett almost corrals it, but the long arms of the 6'11 Travion Johnson grabs it. Evans goes to the hoop, floats it all the way up the top of the glass and down.
Yeah, he did a nice job. You can tell that he has practiced that shot in the gym by himself over and over. Nice touch by that young man.
French trying to break free of the containment from Colty Young underneath, and they're going to call a moving screen against him.
Let's see, who was the foul on?
Deshaun.
Yeah, he pushed off to get open. we saw it a couple plays ago. Their player pushed off with the forearm to create space, and as long as the referees are consistent, that's what every coach wants, right?
Yeah, and
Deshaun did the same exact thing to get some space.
26-19, Jackson State has just kind of kept the Wildcats at arm's length. That ball caroms off Robertson's foot and will be Wildcat ball.
Yeah, interesting that the player tried to bounce past it in, but it slipped out of his hands a little bit for Jackson State. Hit a Bethune-Cookman player back into the Jackson State player's hands who couldn't control it, and the ball goes out of bounds.
Wildcats 4 of 9 from beyond the arc. Tigers 5 of 8. But overall, Wildcats just 7 of 17. They've had more shot attempts than Jackson State. They just haven't been knocking them down.
Oh.
Garrett to Dyson, 7 to shoot. Deshaun with Hunt draped all over him. He has a one-footed runner in the baseline and a foul on the floor. It'll stay with the Wildcats.
Yeah, I think 30, yep. Mm-hmm.
They're going to get Jones for it.
Yeah, Jones pushed off, He had good position, but not enough, and he had to push off to try and get to the ball, and he pushed on Dylan Robinson, and Robinson created that foul situation.
Jones now the first Jackson State player with 2 fouls. Dyson, the gunner, finds Damani McIntyre.
Oh, got a mismatch. Take him. Clear out. And Coach Diaz notices it.
They're going to clear out for Deshaun Dyson. Dyson takes the 3, can't hit it. That was a good mismatch. You called it, Eric. He was against the forward Mansell.
Yeah, that's a tough cover for Mansell to guard somebody like that. Good steal by Garrett.
MG3 takes it away. Joe French in transition. Says, hey, that number on your shirt, I think I'll have 3 more points.
3.0 for a reason, right? Good play by the Wildcats on the early offense. Bring the lead down to 4.
French. That's his second 3 of the game. Hunt trapped in the corner. Now it's Cook. Cook steps back. Hard off the back iron and no good. French in transition against Evans. Nowhere to go, throws it back up, and the Wildcats will begin their offensive set.
Joe French, really nice offense that time. Smart. Hesitation, attack, but then decided to bring it back out. Good play.
They clear it out for Garrett. Layup no good.
Marcus on the drive. Thought he got fouled. No foul call.
Ted Evans Jr. to the lane, just left his layup a little bit short. He looks at the referee like, where's my call? Garrett, transition. Oh, he's going to go to the free throw line, couldn't get the bucket. That's smart play, though, by Marcus.
Yeah, Marcus at the last second accelerated, to the bucket, getting the defender out of position. He wasn't expecting that, creating the foul and getting to the line for 2 shots.
This will be the Wildcats' only second trip to the free throw line. Not a lot of shooting fouls in this game, as the only player that's been to the charity stripe for Jackson State is Jones.
Both teams playing clean and hard tonight. It's fun to see in the SWAC.
Garrett rattles down his first one. Actually, I was looking at the numbers today and found an interesting stat that Marcus Garrett actually took away the 3-point percentage lead on the team from Joe French. He's shooting it at 43.5%. French, that can't be right, because French has 41.8. I must have highlighted the wrong number. And my point...
But it was exciting. That was exciting commentary.
I thought I found a really cool statistic and then just highlighted the wrong number. Sometimes it happens, folks. Sometimes it
exciting
happens.
Commentary. Yeah, Garrett, I show him at 41% and Joe French at 42. So you were right there. You noticed that he moved up on the last play of the last couple games.
Yeah.
To get into the 40s is amazing, to be a 3-point shooter shooting at 40%.
And we got 2 of them.
Yeah, that's the equivalent in point production to shooting 50% from 2-point land.
Colty Young in the corner has a tough one because it went off the backboard before it hit the rim.
Marcus Garrett digging the ball up, out, and away from their defender.
Garrett takes it himself. Dyson in the corner, left it short. Fighting for the rebound is Damani McIntyre. Back out to French. Long 3. Oh, that's the second time he's attempted that straight-on moonshot. The other way, that'll be a long 2, and it's good for Chase Adams, who continues to lead all scorers with his 10th point of the game.
Yeah.
He's 4 of 4 from the field.
Good offensive rebound a minute ago by Damani McIntyre to give us, the Wildcats, an extra possession. Joe French just couldn't hit it. They come down and score. Wildcats on the attack.
Dyson rips through, takes a mid-range jump shot, bucket, and the foul.
Yeah, that's a tough matchup for their player to guard Deshaun Dyson like that. He's the smallest player on the floor, and Deshaun just used his speed, strength, and quickness to get to the two-point shot and then get to the line for the extra shot at the line.
And I'd like to see the Wildcats do a little bit more of that instead of just trying to get catch and shoot threes, which is has been the main modus operandi of the offense so far tonight.
Yeah, Deshaun was isolated on him on the weak side and left all alone one-on-one, and he went baseline and took advantage of it.
Here come the Wildcats. It's just a 2-point game. Jackson State up 28-26, 3:54 to go in the first half. They throw it up for Mansell to throw it down.
So that was good recognition by their team to see that we're playing on the high side. That's a set play by them, no question about it, and they converted on the defensive mistake by the Wildcats.
And we've tried to do that for Dylan Robinson a couple of times on Saturday, and it didn't really work either time. They went right back to it. Did you see Robinson was open underneath, but Garrett just couldn't get him the ball. They're going to get the reach-in foul called on Jelani Bell, the sophomore, again from Jackson, Mississippi. And something that the Tigers really do well is recruit their own backyard. Got a couple from Jackson on this team. Ken Evans Jr., Kevion Hunt, Avon Johnson, who we haven't seen yet, and Jelani Bell, all from Jackson, Mississippi.
Yeah, and they have a very attractive situation there. Jackson is the biggest city there in Mississippi. The campus is beautiful. They have great facilities and great history there at Jackson State to keep the home players home.
Wildcat Nation, you can catch all BCU home games live on the Cat Eye Network. Be sure to tune in for all the best of BCU basketball, baseball, softball, and more throughout the spring season. You can catch it all live at youtube.com/Cat's Eye Network. And nothing is official yet, but stay tuned to BCU's social media. We could have a pretty neat announcement concerning the Cat Eye Network and the spring sports coming up very shortly.
What is it, Mike? Tell us.
I said I can't tell you yet. Anyway, BCU down just 4. They've battled back pretty well in this quote-unquote second quarter, if you will, of this first half.
Yeah, it's a close-fought game. Like you said earlier in the broadcast, it's sticking around that 4 to 6 point difference, and right now it's 26 Bethune-Cookman University Wildcats, 30 points Jackson State.
Jackson State shooting an even 60% from the floor. Bethune-Cookman just 37.5. Both teams have hit 5 threes. The difference is at the free throw line. Bethune-Cookman 3 of 5. Jackson State just 1 of 2. And also the fact that Bethune-Cookman has 4 more offensive possessions than Jackson State has had, and yet they're still down by 4.
So that's the result. If you remember, there were a couple steals about the middle of the first half. We got a couple steals, a couple run out. Joe French got an open three-pointer on one of those. Remember that? So that's kind of been helpful to us. And then Damani has gotten 2 offensive rebounds, if I remember correctly, since he's been in the game.
Yeah, but none of them have been correction. One of them was converted for a bucket. The other one was not.
Yeah.
As the Wildcats have 2 second chance points, the Wildcats none. JSU is really hurting BCU in the paint. 12 points in the painted area for the Tigers so far, just 4 for Bethune-Cookman.
Yeah. So we need a good defensive stop, after a timeout. We have our legs under us. We're set. But then on the flip side, so are they. They're rested. We'll see who wins this battle on the Jackson State offensive end.
Marcus Garrett hits both of the 1-on-1 penalty. And then Dyson slips down. Thankfully, Chase Adams was not over half court yet, so it didn't really hurt the Wildcats.
Yeah. He stepped on a Jackson State player's foot as he went by.
Cook tosses it up to Mansell, deflected away. That's unfortunate for Garrett. He kind of deflected off his thigh and out of bounds.
Smart coaching move by Coach Theus to show zone. Then on the first pass, switch to man. It confused Jackson State. We got the advantage, but just couldn't corral the loose ball that went out of bounds off of us.
Jackson State wants to talk things over. We'll also take a bit of a break right here on the Cat Eye Network. We'll be back for the rest of the first half in 30 seconds. You're watching BCU basketball. Michael Cirillo and Eric Dennis along for the ride here at Richard V. Moore Gymnasium on the campus of Bethune-Cookman University. Jackson State 30, BCU 28. The Tigers are going to have a baseline in with 11 seconds to shoot. It's going to be Hunt the gunner. Goes all the way up top to Mansell. Couldn't corral it. Goes all the way to the backcourt.
You know, he may have been on this side of the line.
Step back, bucket, foul for Chase Adams. He has lit up the Cats tonight. That's his 12th point on 5 of 5 shooting.
Oh, tough break for the Wildcats. You know, he just nicked him on the way up. Just a little nick, but the referee called it. Didn't really disrupt his shooting rhythm, and he was able to put it in and get to the line.
They called the foul on Dyson. That's his second. Harmon Davis and Deshaun Dyson all have 2 fouls now for the Wildcats. The only player on Jackson State with more than 1 has 3, and that is Jamarcus Jones, which is why he hasn't featured in the last couple of minutes of the first. Almost, oh, whoa, offensive foul. They're going to get Dyson. That's his 3rd. That's the 2nd offensive foul off the ball against Deshaun Dyson.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for us for sure.
Lucas Gudavicius checks into the game for the first time, the freshman from Lithuania. Looks like Gudavicius is going to play the 4. He's matched up one-on-one with Zeke Cook. Cook on the baseline. Gudavicius, oh, that was good defense, but sometimes they just hit the shot.
Yeah, they went right at the freshman. As soon as he came in, they went right at that matchup. Mo Williams, being a pro player, understands matchups. Unfortunately, the offense, like you said, did make the shot.
Quick 5-0 run for the Tigers out of the timeout to take a 7-point lead with 2 minutes, 10 seconds to go in the first half. Screen for Garrett. He drives, he throws it up, and he gets fouled. And just like the women's team yesterday against Alcorn State, I think one of the best recourses for BCU to stay in this game is going to be the free throw line.
Yeah, well, you know, we're being aggressive in attacking the basket, and right now it's working out for us. Marcus Garrett picks up another foul on them, moving them to 9 team fouls, and he's at the line to shoot 2.
Marcus Garrett, the former junior college All-American at Wabash College, then to the Division I level to Morehead State, and now 2 years at Bethune-Cookman. He'll graduate after this season.
And originally from the city of Chicago.
Bethune-Cookman is going to lose a lot of talent this year. Marcus Garrett is going to depart. Kevin Davis is going to depart. Dylan Robertson, all of those going to graduate, and we're going to have to lean on the freshman talent come next year.
Yeah, and we'll, you know, we're hard at work on the recruiting edge. There's a lot of good players out there. The transfer portal has certainly changed some things. We'll take a peek to see what's available in the transfer portal, but I'm sure we'll find some players to come in here and wear the maroon and gold of Bethune-Cookman and represent us in the SWAC next season.
And even with those 4 really good players who have served this university well over the past 2 years, you've still got, let me run down some names for you. Jason Matthews, Zion Harmon, Lucas Gudavicius, Kwan, Simeon Womack, Trayvon Barbary, Elijah Holsey, and James Henderson, all freshmen.
Yes.
The future of this Wildcat program, very bright. Also got a couple of bright juniors in Deshaun Dyson, Donovan Totally, who unfortunately is out for the season injured, hasn't played a minute.
And like a good wine, they're all very good players, but with another year, they'll be just a little bit better, like a fine wine ages.
And we talked about that in the women's game about Kayla Clark, how she matured a lot from freshman year to sophomore year. And I expect a lot of these young players for the Wildcats to take that leap over the offseason.
And misdirection play by Jackson State that we sniffed out.
Back iron no good, and Mansell, just a lucky bounce that came right to him in traffic.
You know, Lucas had position on that, and they just stripped it away from him as he brought the rebound down. Lucky bounce into his hands, but he hit the jump hook. 2 points for them, 37-30.
McIntyre backs down Adams, fadeaway, no good, and that's another tough shot without a pass for BCU.
Somebody's got to go help on.
Potential mismatch here with Adams on Gudavicius. And Adams is 6 for 6.
Yeah, he's having a heck of a night here in historic Moore Gymnasium, a historic game for him.
Excuse me, 5 for 5 now. He's got 13 points in the first half. And he's only averaging 10. McIntyre spins away from 1. Goes to Gudavicius. With 12 to shoot, Lucas drives, is stripped by Mansell, but they call the reach.
Oh, yeah, he got fouled hard, and he'll go to the line to shoot a pair.
That's a 10th foul on Jackson State, so Bethune-Cookman in the double bonus.
You know, this is one of those groups together right now. We're a little off balance. We have to for foul reasons, that this group doesn't play very much in practice and understand each other's chemistry and movements, but they'll work it out, and we'll just have to get into the half with 40 seconds left here in the first half.
Bethune-Cookman only shooting 36% from the floor. Normally that's up to 42% on the season, so they got a long way to go to make up that average.
Where are we at for threes on the game so far?
5 for 13, that's 38%. On the season we shoot 36. So three-pointers, we're not doing too bad, but everything inside three-point range, it's just everything's been contested, and it's not been great.
And again, you young players at home, you saw Lucas again. He backed away from the line before his shot. You have to follow through.
Kalani McIntyre rips it away. Falls down, foul. And McIntyre is going to go to the charity stripe. And they're going to get a foul on Chase Adams, who is the hot hand.
McIntyre may not be able to shoot these, which looks like he's twisted his ankle. Yeah, he's struggling.
Yeah. We've had this happen once already this season, right, where the player that was fouled was unable to continue. I think in a women's game a couple of weeks ago. And then at that point, correct me if I'm wrong, the coach can designate any player to shoot. Or does it have to be the player that was substituted for him to shoot?
It would have to be the sub that comes in.
No, it doesn't matter. McIntyre's going to tough it out. And missed the first one. Damani not great from the free throw line, just 30%.
Yeah, he's such a better shooter than that. So, you know, it's an unusual thing. We could.
He's shooting better from the floor, 35.5, than from the free throw line, 30.8.
You know, he was a 20-point-a-game scorer in high school in the Indianapolis area, which is, you know, really tough basketball.
Foul called against Gudavicius for a push on his opposite number, Ken Evans. And that's going to be 1-1 for Jackson State.
I just didn't see the foul there. In any case. But we don't have a good angle. from here to see
in any
the
case,
contact.
you shouldn't be engaging 94 feet from your own, basket.
We've talked about that frequently during this season, that players tend to do that when you don't gain much. It's a high risk, low return investment.
Ken Evans Jr. misses the front end of a 1-and-1, but it's going to be 2 shots for the Tigers as Avon Johnson, the freshman, from the same high school as his head coach, Mo Williams, Murrah High School in Jackson, gets the offensive rebound.
Yeah, he slipped in between the 2 Wildcat players to get that, but good play by that young man. We dodged a bullet for a minute with the other player missing the front end of the 1-and-1, but then to give up that rebound, it's a tough break for the Wildcats.
Zion Harmon back in with 20 seconds to go in the half. And it is a 10-point Jackson State lead, their largest of the contest. Even in all that early barrage of 3-pointers, they only ever led by 9. And Coach Theus is clearing everybody out for Marcus Garrett. Garrett backs down Young, gets double teamed, throws it up, no good. And that's the end of the half. Bethune-Cookman shoots 36% from the floor in the first half and trails Jackson State by 10 at the break in a must-win game for the Wildcats.
We've got a difference in the score here and what's on the scoreboard, so I don't know which one is right. We're showing 39 on our monitor.
That's because the stat sheet is behind. It is 41-31.
Okay.
That'll do it for the first half. We'll come back in about 15 minutes for the second half, see if the Wildcats can mount a comeback like the women's team did yesterday. Stick around. This is Bethune-Cookman basketball on the Cat Eye Network. Back here at Moore Gymnasium, it's just about time for the second half between the Bethune-Cookman Wildcats and the Jackson State Tigers. Tigers hold a 41-31 10-point lead over the Wildcats at the break. Here are your scoring totals. Marcus Garrett leads the Wildcats with 12. Joe French with 9 on 3 of 5 from deep. Harmon with 3, Davis with 3, Dyson with 3, Gudavicius with 1, and that's it. That's all she wrote for the Wildcats. Not a lot of offense in that first half, just 34% from the field. For Jackson State, the numbers read a little bit better. 15 points to lead all scorers on 6 of 6 shooting for Chase Adams. He's had a ridiculous game so far. Mansell has 7, Evans 5, Young 5, Jones 3, but 3 fouls. Cook, Johnson, and Johnson all have 2. Bell and Hunt both have 0. Well, towards the end of the second half, the Wildcats just kind of went cold, and it was a 6-1 JSU run to close out the first half over the last 2 minutes. Eric, what needs to change, because something's going to have to give here?
Well, Adams for them is averaging 7 points a game on the season, shooting 90% from the line and 30% from 3. He is the beneficiary of us having to help on their big scores, their bigger scorers, like Mansell,
and
like Evans, like Young. And that leaves him open, and he has delivered in a big way for Jackson State. So kudos to him and kudos to them. Now for us, we have to get into a better rhythm than we were. We were forced because of a little bit of foul issue and a little bit of matchup issue to play lineups that we haven't normally played this year. We haven't had the chemistry on the offensive end that we normally do, but I'm sure we talked about that during halftime, and let's see if we can correct that in these final 20 minutes of tonight's game.
Could be an interesting note. Deshaun Dyson has 3 fouls, 2 of them offensive fouls off the ball, 1 for an illegal screen and 1 for kind of an arm to the chest. BCU in the home gold, trimmed in maroon and white. They attack the basket to listeners left in this second half. Jackson State on the road in the navy blue, white, and red. And almost a steal. It is a steal for Jackson State. Zeke Cook all the way across to Colty Young. Gets French in the air and gets it right back as his pass went off Kevin Davis. And that's been happening a lot tonight.
Yeah, unfortunate break for the Wildcats. We knocked the ball away, loose ball. We have a chance to grab it. It ricochets again right into a Jackson State player's hand, who gets fouled and goes to the line for 2. Henderson picked that up, I think.
And this is Colty Young. He is one of the best three-point shooters in the Southwestern Athletic Conference, but tonight just 1 for 3 from beyond the arc. Young from Starkville, Mississippi, in the shadows of Mississippi State. Won 2 straight championships at Starkville High School. And All-Area Player of the Year his senior year. Also a Dandy Dozen selection. We talked about that in the opening game of our doubleheader.
Yeah, so that's what you don't want. You don't want to start off the game giving them the first 2 of the second half, but we did. We're running the same play.
We started off real slow in the first half, too. Got back into it. Trailed by just 2 at one point. French open for 3 in the corner. Just too strong. French 3 of 5. And actually now 3 of 6 from deep tonight.
You know, teams have...
Mansell wide open for 3. I half expected him to knock that one down. And the Wildcats will take possession.
Yeah, we caught a break on that their player, Cook, could not corral that offensive rebound. He had it, and luckily for us, it went out of bounds off of him.
The Wildcats just kind of looked sluggish today.
Yeah.
And maybe you're thinking the way that we lost to Alcorn State on Saturday still weighing heavily on their minds. French in traffic in the corner. Back to Zion Harmon, who picked up 2 quick fouls early and had to sit out most of the first half. Joe back to Zion, who pulls up. Back iron no good. French tries to tip it in, and it is stripped on the outlet pass. Harmon wide open off the scramble.
Yes.
Oh, and it rolls in. Finally, a good kiss off the rim.
Excellent play by Kevin Davis to give us that second possession, to tap it out to himself, get on the floor, and smartly kick it to Zion.
Here is Ken Evans Jr. the top scorer for this Jackson State team. And now Adams, the top scorer on the night. Nice screen, takes out 2 players. Extra pass for Young, baseline drive, missed it short. Lots of blue bodies down there, but it actually ends up in the hands of Marcus Garrett, and he's fouled on the pull away by Young.
Yeah, we are not attacking the boards like we can. We've got to get Henderson some help in there. French, Davis, and the guards. We have to rebound as a team. They're bigger, a little bit better rebounding team in the 5 that they have on the floor versus the 5 that the Wildcats have. So we got to get in there on the glass and not give them second chance opportunities.
In the game, 19-15 in rebounds favoring Jackson State.
Soft zone by Jackson State.
Harmon just pulls up. Off the back of the rim, no good. Henderson corrals the offensive board, and it's going to be a goaltending against Mansell.
Nice play by Henderson to get to the glass and get the rebound, second chance, and the goaltending. 2 points for Henderson.
That's the 3rd goaltending call we've seen this weekend, after not really seeing it a whole lot throughout the rest of the season.
Yeah, that was the right call. I'll say that for sure. That was goaltending.
I mean, it was the correct call. It's just weird that they've all been happening in the last couple of games. Young with Davis on him.
Wildcats in man.
Adams back to his right hand, finds Cook. Cook on the baseline against Davis, pulls up, gets the foul.
We've got to make an adjustment that when they isolate any player on the block like that, we have to go and help and give. It is a tough assignment for any defender in any level of basketball to defend somebody that good as they have on the block alone. It's a tough matchup.
Wildcats in a little bit of foul trouble now. That's Davis's 3rd. Remember, Dyson already has 3.
Yeah, and that's why it hurt us in the first half. We had to go to some of those strange, odd lineups that we don't normally put on the floor together, and that causes a little slower chemistry, and we don't execute our offense as efficiently as we normally do. Jackson State in a 2-1-2 press.
Back to a 9-point game. Davis quickly bats it over to Garrett.
Double team.
Garrett double teamed. Jump ball. Possession arrow to Jackson State.
You cannot have a jump ball when the defender has just one hand on the ball. That can't be.
Wildcats got to step up defensively here. Adams will control. Garrett defending him. Colty Young open for 3, missed it. Shoveled to Zion. Easy lay-in off the transition.
Good play on the long rebound by Marcus to find Zion on the run out. 2 points.
And JSU started really hot from beyond the arc. They started 4 of 5. They're now down to 5 of 11. Adams from way downtown, splash.
Heat check, and he is still hot.
He is now 7 of 7 from the floor, 3 of 3 from deep. Davis, pick and roll, and the extra pass is out of the reach of Henderson.
Right idea. We had the right, perfect angle for that. Kevin just didn't get the angle, which is odd. He did everything right. The ball just didn't go where he intended it to go. I don't understand why the ball didn't come up in Henderson's hands.
Although it doesn't seem like it, BCU still has turned the ball over fewer times than Jackson State has, 6-5. Garrett slips down guarding Adams. It goes to Mansell on the baseline.
Go help him. There you go.
Mansell back to Adams, and he's just got the magic touch right now. Harmon trying to back down Chase Adams. Goes straight at him with a floater, too strong. Davis fights through and bats it out of bounds. First media timeout, and Jackson State has extended their lead. It's 50-38. Wildcat Nation, you can catch all BCU home games live on the Cat Eye Network. Be sure to tune in for all the best of BCU basketball, baseball, softball, and more throughout the spring season. You can catch it all live at youtube.com/Cat Eye Network. We only have 2 more Cat Eye Network broadcast days after this. The 27th of February against Grambling and the 4th of March against Florida A&M. The Wildcats are home on the 25th against Southern, but that game is picking up on national television on HBCU Go.
Yeah, that'll be an exciting game for sure.
Well, the Wildcats needed to start hot in the second half, and they have done just the opposite.
Yeah.
And Chase Adams continues to be brilliant.
Yeah, and Dylan Robinson and Damani McIntyre both checked into the game for the Wildcats. Henderson's out, and I'm not sure who the other player that came out is. We've got to get some more movement on the offensive end, be a little patient. When Jackson State goes into that trap, either on the high wing or the low wing, we have to come and help and recognize, get it through that trap, and then we're playing 4-on-3 and get an easy shot with that advantage.
Jackson State ball, they're up by 12.
With the ball.
With the ball. Dylan Robertson checks back in for the Wildcats. Damani McIntyre in for BCU. He'll have the honor of guarding the unguardable Chase Adams. Mansell up top. Robertson on him. Robertson wins the battle and forces the short jumper. Davis in transition, almost gave the ball away, but it does find its way to Harmon. Davis, mid-range jumper, in and out.
No. Good offense that time by the Wildcats.
And that is how you know that it is not your night. Mansell potentially passed up an open 3 right there to get it to Adams. Stop and start, and to the line he goes.
You know, we've got to stop Adams from just penetrating and drawing the foul like that. He's going into the defender, smartly so, to draw the foul. He's very good at that.
Well, Adams' previous season high was 13 last weekend against Mississippi Valley. He's got 20 already.
What year is he?
He's a junior. Yeah. A junior from Chicago, Illinois.
Which high school?
Orr High School in Chicago. Won the 2A state championship. Averaged 13.6 rebounds, 6 assists. And then played a postgraduate year at Link Prep. Then went to Portland. And had 117 assists his freshman year to break the all-time assist record for a freshman at Portland University.
Yep.
Took a community college year during COVID, and then the last 2 years at Jackson State. Davis underneath, spins and floats. Nothing again for the Wildcats. In transition, Mansell, extra pass. A fadeaway jumper, and Flench clatters into Zeke Cook. And the wheels are coming off right now for BCU.
On this end, Davis, we did the nice offense to get the ball, like we talked about, into the middle. Davis turned a little long on that jump hook, and then on the run out, they had the advantage. And was the foul on French?
It was.
Yeah, Joe French got caught up in the ball fake, leaning in, and then the player recalibrated to go straight up, but French had already leaned in, drawing the foul on Joe French.
Only the first personal on Joe. French has not come out of the ball game at all tonight. He's played all 26 minutes.
Yep. Cook, a 59% free throw shooter.
Harmon will depart and French will depart for the first time. Dyson and Garrett back in.
Yeah, they need a breather. That's a good sub for them. For us.
But I would anticipate if this game continues the way it is, that we may see a Quan, Trevon Barbary, Simeon Womack type appearance for the Wildcats, try and get these young freshmen involved.
Well, Quan is redshirting this year. He won't be in the game.
Dyson baseline, too hot to handle for McIntyre. He pulls up from mid-range, and finally, after actually over 3 minutes, the Wildcats are on the board, back down by 12.
And again, we took advantage. They trapped, and we got the ball into the middle, playing 4 against 3 defenders, and it was our advantage. Good job.
Adams doesn't take the 3 with McIntyre draped all over him. 10 to shoot for the Tigers. Double screen leaves Mansell open, backs down Robinson and rolls it in.
They're doing a nice job, Jackson State, of staying on balance on that attack. See, we got it. Oh.
And Dyson tried to go behind the back and coughed it up. Evans, in transition, throws it up for Zeke Cook to throw it down.
That they're trapping us on the wings, and we have to react better. Here it comes again. There we go, right into the middle.
This time Garrett skipping through, draws the contact and throws it off the rim. He'll go to the line.
That's all you got to do. That play right there, let the double team come, but you have to have a teammate flash right in the middle of the trap so you can give it to them. You need to have somebody on the right side of the trap and somebody on the left in the passing lane to give your teammate options to get it out of the trap, which gives you the advantage to play 4-on-3 on the attack on offense.
The way this game is going reminds me of the last home game of the season for Bethune-Cookman women's basketball last year when Ayanna Emanuel came in and scored 40. And nobody else on the team, I think, had more than 6.
Yeah.
Right now, Adams has 21. Nobody else on Jackson State has more than 9. Including the hot shooters Ken Evans Jr. and Colty Young. Mansell lobbing it up for Jones, and just everything falling for the Tigers right now.
So you see how they're going into our chest on the offensive end. We have to either be stronger or go down and draw the offensive foul, one or the other. We can't just let them gain the advantage with the contact.
Already just 10 to shoot. McIntyre looking for somewhere to go with it. He goes to Dyson, hesitation, floater, hit the side of the backboard. Robertson throws it out to Garrett. Garrett has to keep it alive, and it's a shot clock violation. Ninth turnover for the Wildcats.
So Jackson State changed their defense that time into a zone, and the Wildcats did not recognize and adjust soon enough to the attack.
Robertson comes out, Henderson back in. Remember, Henderson missed the non-conference schedule of the season, had an MCL surgery in the offseason. Adams, hard screen set by Johnson, back to Trayvon Johnson, and a foul. And it's inside the restricted zone, so Johnson will go to the line.
Yep. I think it was on the floor. Should be.
It's on Dyson, which is his 4th, so Harmon's going to check back in for him.
Henderson has a tough matchup right now, matching up with Trayon Johnson, who's quite a bit taller and heavier. But I know
Johnson,
that
their tallest listed player at 6'11".
Yeah.
Ball comes into Young, and now Jamarcus Jones, the senior from Chicago, the transfer from Arkansas Tech. Adams, and it's a reach. And that's the fine line that you walk if you're Damani McIntyre, who loves to get his hands in there and try and fish for steals. Media timeout, we'll take it with him. Jackson State up big on BCU, 58-42. Stay up to date with everything Bethune-Cookman Athletics by checking out the Wildcats on social media. Give BCU Athletics a like on Facebook and follow the Wildcats on Twitter and Instagram at BCU_athletics. For the latest on BCU men's basketball, follow at BCU Hoops on Twitter and Instagram. 16-point lead for Jackson State as they've hit 5 of their last 6 shots. Bethune-Cookman just 1 of their last 6.
Jackson State is a 34% field goal shooting team. Am I seeing that right?
No, 66%. Oh, no, field goal in general,
30,
I have them
34.
at 40.9.
Not for the game, for overall.
Overall, 40.9. Another foul against Henderson. That'll be a 1-and-1 because the Wildcats are in the single bonus. It's going to be against Henderson. That'll be his second. And it looks like Jackson State is going to win a second straight game on the road before their win against FAMU on Saturday. They had lost 10 straight away from home. Still 10 minutes left. Wildcats could put something together here. Garrett. Dyson for 3. Excuse me, that's McIntyre. Garrett grabs the long rebound. Mid-range jumper, no. Another gab for Garrett, and 1. Finally, the lid comes off the basket for BCU. Points have been few and far between in this second half.
Yeah, Damani looked good on that 3. We gathered the offensive rebound, got another shot. Ball bounced out, and they gave it to Garrett on a second offensive rebound, and he gets to the line for a 3-point play opportunity.
And hopefully the Wildcats can do something defensively, maybe create some offense to get the noise back in this building, because it is mostly a full house.
Well, where I was going with their floor overall field goal percentage is we've got to play good enough defense to make them be that team that they are with that percentage. But
McIntyre falls down in pursuit of Adams. Evans hits a 3 from the wing.
We just got to play solid D, stay in front of them. Jackson State drops into a 2-3 zone. Let's see how we attack it. There you go, into the high post.
The Tigers have played well above their means today on offense. Marcus Garrett flashes through for the putback, and he has the last 5 BCU points. Garrett having himself a day, up to 19. He's chasing Chase Adams, who has 21.
Yeah, just let him weave out there. Don't chase him. Don't chase him. Let him
Adams
weave.
behind the back, and that's the first field goal miss of the game for Chase Adams, and it may not matter. Oh no, he missed the wide open 3.
Now,
and
how
then
is that not a foul on Adams?
Oh,
how he knocked Zion down flatly. How is that not a foul?
Everybody thought it was going to be, and everybody stopped playing. Garrett steps on the out-of-bounds line, and it's another turnover. Now, funnily enough, the rebounds are exactly even, 23-23. But Jackson State has 8 more defensive rebounds than we do, and we have 8 more offensive rebounds than they do. So it's been an odd game in that regard.
Well, we got 4 in the last 2 possessions of those 8. See, that's a hook.
Colty Young drills a triple. He's been quiet tonight, but no more. That's on his second 3 of the game.
So they are getting into the middle of the paint and kicking it out for wide open jumpers. We have to match up better and recover better.
Davis in the high post. Garrett steps in for a mid-range jumper from the baseline, no good. Off of Johnson and out. Joe French is going to check back in after a short stay on the bench. Interesting to see who will replace. He'll replace Henderson. So the Wildcats are going to go with a 4-guard lineup with Davis playing the 5. Davis on the baseline, just turns around, pulls up, and misses. And we got a couple of bodies tangled up on the other end. It's 4-on-4 currently. Jackson State's Evans Jr. is going to back out and let Zeke Cook recover. Evans behind the back. McIntyre watches him. Almost a strip by McIntyre.
Another block. See how he throws his hip out? The referee has to protect.
At the end of the shot clock, Ken Evans Jr. drills another one.
The referee has to protect the defender and make that call.
And Coach Theus wants a timeout, and he will get it. Another 5-0 run for Jackson State. After BCU put on 5 straight points by Garrett, it doesn't seem, it's every time Bethune-Cookman gets anything going on the offensive end, it's an immediate answer for the Tigers.
Yeah, Coach Theus is talking to the referee exactly about the hip check by their bigs on that high pick and roll.
Coming into the game, Bethune-Cookman was barely holding on to the final playoff spot in the SWAC. And that only via a head-to-head tiebreaker victory over Prairie View A&M. Alcorn State leads the way at 10-2. Grambling and Southern at 9-3. Then it's a 2-game drop-off to Jackson State at 7-5. Pine Bluff, Alabama A&M, and Alabama State at 7-6. Then Bethune-Cookman and Prairie View at 5-7. Texas Southern at 4-8. Florida A&M at 3-9, and Mississippi Valley at 2-10.
Well, you said they were at 7-6, but I think you meant to say 6-6.
It is. They are 6-6. Are Arkansas, Pine Bluff, Alabama, and A&M, and Alabama State, and that's why all these games are so crucial, because the league is so close.
Yeah, why don't you run through that again, Mike? Because let's just hear it again, because you carried the 7-5 down to 7-6.
So Alcorn State leads the way at 10-2. Grambling State and Southern at 9-3. Jackson State 7-5. Pine Bluff, Alabama A&M, and Alabama State at 6-6. Bethune-Cookman and Prairie View A&M at 5-7. Texas Southern at 4-8. Florida A&M at 3-9, and Mississippi Valley at 2-10.
And so, as you were saying, that Alabama trip is going to be really important.
Because we're playing the 2 teams immediately ahead of us, and I don't know how Prairie View A&M is doing tonight, but if they win, they would jump us for that last playoff spot. The only way we would remain there is if both us and the Panthers lose tonight. I'm not sure who they are playing. Another trap. This time they do call a foul, and they're going to call it against Johnson. Again, Zion gets trapped, and we run away from him. We got to come to him and give him options to pass out of that. And I don't just mean Zion. I mean anybody that's in the trap when they run and jump like that. I mean, and the Tigers have been aggressively trapping on the wing as we make our way into the front court, and it's caused a couple of turnovers.
Here it comes again. Watch, they'll trap again. There it is again.
This time it escapes to Robinson, long pass to French. Extra ball movement to Marcus Garrett's bucket of the foul. Marcus Garrett's put on a show these last couple of days. Had 16 last night. He's up to 21 tonight.
Yeah, but that's how you attack it. See how they recognized that they were going to trap. They actually wanted them to trap that time. They baited them in. Dylan got to an open spot. We were able to swing the ball around, and on the recovery, Marcus was able to take the baseline, score, and get to the line to beat the rotation of the Jackson State defense.
Kevion Hunt and Zeke Cook come back in for Jackson State. Garrett misses the and one opportunity. 7:55 to go. So
Adams finally goes to the bench, and Hunt comes in at the point.
And they're going to get a trip against Garrett. That's his second foul. It'll be a 1-and-1.
They called it on Damani.
Did they call it on Damani? I thought Marcus Garrett was the one that was there, but if they called it on Damani, then it's
I agree. I agree it was on Garrett, but the referee clearly held 5 fingers up. Did it pop up on our live stats yet?
They did give it to Damani. That's his second foul.
But he wasn't in the play. Right?
I didn't see him in the play. It doesn't
we
mean he
agree
wasn't.
It was Garrett that committed the foul.
Wildcat fans, Pepsi is a proud sponsor of Bethune-Cookman University. Make sure to visit the concession stand located in the main lobby to grab an ice cold Pepsi today. Pepsi, refreshingly good. Marcus Garrett continuing to have a good weekend despite the Wildcat struggles. He's up to 22 points. He's now the game leading scorer. And he is 9 of 10 from the free throw line, which makes up the majority of those points. And Adams is 8 of 11, has 21 points. Was 8 of 8. He's missed his last 3 shots.
Yeah, let's see if they bring Adams back in, since he's gotten about a nice 3 to 4 minute rest with the subbing and dead balls and this timeout. No, they're gonna stay with Hunt at the point.
I think at this point, Jackson State is gonna try and throw some younger players in there, maybe try some different lineups. It'll be a 1-and-1 for Ken Evans Jr., an 80% free throw shooter. On the season, the Tigers shoot 66% from the line.
Yeah, and he's at his game average of 10. He has 10 now. His game average for the season is 11, so he's right under that average. And there he's hit it.
So Colty Young and Ken Evans have hit their averages, 12 and 11. And it's just Adams, the odd man out, with 21. Adams normally averages just 7 points a game. I bet that average is going to go way up after tonight.
Jackson State in man.
7:38 to go in the contest. Swim move. They tried to lob it up for Robinson.
How is that not a trip on Jackson State? They
did call it.
No.
Although they put 20 seconds on the shot clock, they must have said that Tigers had possession. Yeah, that one, I don't know about that one.
And they've called it the other way many times when the feet got tangled. Let's give a few to the players in gold, in the gold uniforms.
McIntyre replaced by Davis, probably to try and match up with Evans. And the scary thing about this Jackson State team is this isn't really a senior-laden team at all. They only have 2 players that will graduate after this year. Colty Young dribbles it off his foot, stays in the front court. Evans had to get that off at the end of the shot clock. But the only seniors on this team is Trace Young, who is not playing. He's averaging 10 points per game. You'd think they would have missed him, but not tonight. And the other senior is Jamarcus Jones, who picked up 3 quick fouls and hasn't seen much of the floor. Zion dribbles through traffic. Robinson underneath and gets it to go finally off the rim.
Nice play that time by Zion Harmon to get Dylan Robinson the ball in a position where he could jump hook and get 2 points. 51-68, Jackson State with the lead. Again, there is an offensive push-off creating space, and the referees just are not calling that.
Harmon, good idea to try and throw it to Robinson, but it took a deflection.
Bounce pass probably would have worked in that situation as well.
Robertson only 2 points on 1 of 1 shooting, as that's the shot that was just taken. Davis puts it up and in.
Nice offensive inbound play by the Wildcats, a 4 flat. Davis isolated one-on-one at the free throw line. Goes left, uses his left, 2 points. If he dribbles again, it should be double dribble. Let's see if the refs, no.
Now he knew it, and he didn't dribble. Here's Hunt, and a wayward pass looking for Evans at the corner, gives the ball back to the Wildcats.
Marcus got just a finger on that changed the trajectory, and number 2 couldn't handle the pass for us. Evans off him, out of bounds, Wildcat ball.
Been looking at Bethune-Cookman's scoring numbers in games this season. Their lowest scoring total in a conference game was actually in a win against Prairie View A&M. They won that game 60-58. Davis lost the handle, but there was a reason, because he got...
Let's see if they give it to 5. Yeah.
Yeah, because it got torn away by Hunt.
Yeah, Hunt almost with a good defensive play, but just a little bit too much forearm, foul on the play. 20 seconds on the shot clock, lots of time, Wildcats.
Davis with a fresh 20. Kevin goes it himself. Off the backboard, no good. Mansell wraps it up. And the most points that the Wildcats have given up in a conference game was 77 in the loss to Pine Bluff. That was the second home game of the season. And the Wildcats, to be fair, have been much better since then. They went on a little 3-game winning streak before this weekend. Foul going to be called against Hunt. Jackson State, stop and start, as I said previously, before yesterday, or Saturday rather, they had lost 10 straight road games. But they'd done all their winning at home. Their only loss, shockingly, was to Mississippi Valley State at home. One of the Delta Devils' only 2 victories on the season.
Oh,
front end of a 1-and-1 missed by Marcus, and he was 9 of 10 from the charity stripe before that.
Yeah, we need but it was the front end of a 1-and-1 too, so that makes it worse.
Into the stage, the ball goes as Kevion Hunt couldn't corral it. He's a freshman from Jackson. Callaway High School won a 5A state title his senior year, averaging 16 points, 4 rebounds, 7 assists.
Somebody go help, please.
They're going to show token pressure and back off of Zion Harmon. Both teams in the single bonus. Davis just pulls up from the moon and misses it too long. Even so, Marcus Garrett almost grabbed the rebound. We just play the last 4 minutes of this ball game here at Moore Gymnasium. Only 5 games left in the season, 3 of them here at home for the Wildcats, and they're probably going to need 4 victories in order to secure themselves a spot at the conference tournament. They're finally going to call the push-off there on Ken Evans Jr. as they call the offensive foul.
Yep.
And I think they're going to go to the monitor to check for a potential flagrant. So we'll go to the under 5 media timeout, and when we come back, BCU will try and break a 2-minute scoreless streak as they're down 70-53 against the Jackson State Tigers. Nike is the official outfitter of the Bethune-Cookman Wildcats. Gear up on the newest BCU Nike gear at Nike.com/Bethune-Cookman Wildcats. Well, there is some good news, Eric Dennis. The good news is the Wildcats have 5 more games left on the season. They've got enough games that they can be competitive and they can take victories in to get to the conference tournament. Now, it won't be easy, but it's going to have to start next Saturday against Alabama A&M.
Well, what I like is if Alcorn wins the conference tournament, if we wind up being the last seed, we seem to match up well against them, and we can play them really tough to get out of that first round if we can get there.
Got to get there first. I meant during that timeout to look up the score of the Prairie View A&M game as Zion turns the ball over. Evans, coast to coast, hooping the harm. And we saw a little bit too much of that against Alcorn on Saturday, and we see it again. And it's like teams know we're going to do that. We're going to drive to the baseline and then kick back up top, and they've got a guy there every time.
It's called scouting. Yeah, there's no secrets in the SWAC. Everybody knows what everybody's going to do. But the problem is you just have to execute the play, and Zion is such a good player that rather than make that play when it's not there, just dribble it out and attack again. It's okay. You know, they're not all going to be there. He'll make up for it, though. He's a good player, smart player.
20-point lead for the Tigers, 73-53. Harmon trapped on the wing, finds French. Joe had 9 points in the first half and not a drop since. Garrett pushes off.
See, now where is it on our end when we do that?
To be fair, they did call Ken Evans for that exact same play.
Once. When they've been doing it the entire second half. Been killing us with that.
Adams back on the floor looking to add to his career night. He's got 21 points on 8 of 11 shooting. Was 8 for 8 for a long time before he had 3 straight misses in the middle of this second half. Extra pass and a 2-hand flush for Jamarcus Jones. And they're going to get Colty Young with a foul there, send French to the line. And head coach Mo Williams, the NBA All-Star and NBA champion, knows the SWAC well, and actually knows this building pretty well. Came here twice last season as the head coach of Alabama State.
Oh, was he at Alabama State?
He was at Alabama State for the past 2 years and now at Jackson. And you got to think that being a Jackson native, his ultimate goal was to get this job at JSU.
Well, his ultimate goal is to get the Kentucky job, like every other coach, or the Duke job, or the North Carolina job, or the UCLA job. But yeah, he's in a good place at home, right? You're right about that.
Yeah, I mean, given the chance to, here's Colty Young for 3. It's good.
What are they from 3?
They are 9 of 17. That's 51%.
Yeah, they've just been killing it.
Zion fouled.
So, you know, Adams fouled Zion so hard, he wants to act like he's innocent on that one. Like they have all game. They've been fouling the heck out of us, but the referees haven't called it, and that's okay. We just have to be tough and take the punishment and execute and score.
The Wildcats started well from 3 in the first half, but have fallen to just 30% from beyond the arc, which is where you really want to be around. But when the opposing team is shooting 52%.
Yeah, and execution, you know, we just haven't reacted well to their half-court trap at all. And it's hurt us. It's given them the big lead.
Harmon really tried for that steal, leads to a 5-on-4 the other way, and now Zion recovers well to knock it out of bounds. That's a lot of work for Reggie Theus, Chris Pompey, Billy Garrett, Richard Grant to do this week and get ready for a tough road trip to the state of Alabama.
You know, the tough thing about this loss is that we really had a chance to win Saturday's game. I mean, we were ahead most of that game right up until the last 0.4 seconds.
0.4.
And that's the worst time to be behind, is when the clock is over, right?
Here's Jones at the free throw line. Picked up 3 quick fouls in the first half and hasn't really played a lot in this game. He's currently got 4 fouls, only 14 minutes on the floor. But he is 3 of 3 from the floor, but just 1 of 4 from the free throw line.
Yeah, that's the only miss for Jackson State tonight. And I don't mean missing as a shot. I mean, you know, that one of their players isn't shooting the lights out from the line. They've had a tremendous shooting game.
Actually, they shot 70% from the line. I mean, they've had a tremendous shooting game elsewhere. 62% from the floor and 52% from 3. McIntyre short. It comes to Robinson, and they're going to get the Jackson State player for a push. Robinson stepped out of bounds. It's because he was hustled there by Jamarcus Jones, and that is the end for him. That's 5 fouls.
So Jackson State, you know, their players put their hands straight up and they move their body into you, and it's fooled the referees tonight. That's a foul when you do that. But, you know, they act innocent and they don't give it away. And every time they are called for a foul, they say, "What, you know, ref? What are you talking about? I haven't fouled anybody," and it's hurt us. It's hurt us.
Dylan Robertson at the line, the senior from Tuscaloosa, Alabama, and misses the front end. He has had a really tough couple of years with the leg injury last year, and then being out so long this year, and only just coming back. And you know, he's not going to get another medical red shirt, so this is the end of his college career. And let's just hope we can put together a good last couple of games and give him some more basketball. The trap doesn't work, throwing it up. Mansell throws it down.
Yeah, I saw that coming.
And this is officially the most points that BCU has given up in a conference game this season. I don't think Jackson State's going to beat Indiana's 101.
Get back.
They put on us earlier in the season. Hard bump from Garrett, no whistle. Adams just chooses to play it back and run the clock down. Under 2 minutes to go now.
Yeah, good sportsmanship by them to run the clock.
Adams, McIntyre blocks it, but it comes straight to Mansell, as almost every loose ball in this game has. And another 3 is hit by Ken Evans Jr., the 10th triple of the game for Jackson State. Timeout on the floor with 1:04 to go.
I don't know why Mo Williams would call a timeout with such a big lead.
I am guessing it is to get some of his players that have not played into the game.
We'll find out.
Wildcat Nation, you can catch all BCU home games live on the Cat Eye Network with the exception of the Southern games on the 25th. Those games will be nationally televised on HBCU Go. Be sure to tune in for the best of BCU basketball, baseball, softball, and more throughout the spring season. You can catch it all live at youtube.com/Cat Eye Network. And one thing that's better than catching the games on the Cat Eye Network is coming down to Moore Gymnasium or over to Jackie Robinson Ballpark. A lot of home games for the Wildcats over the first month of the season as some teams from the Northeast and Midwest come down and chase some sunny weather.
Yeah, they have to come down and thaw out from those in the gym workouts up north there with that cold weather. They come down here in the nice warm Florida sun to play America's pastime, baseball.
They got Lehigh in a 3-game set this coming weekend. And then Purdue-Fort Wayne the week after that. So lots of BCU Diamond Cats baseball coming your way shortly. French flips through and scores.
That was a Euro ballet step, if I've ever seen one. Oh.
Bucket and 1 for Avon Johnson. Johnson only had 2 points, no field goals before then. He was 2 of 2 from the free throw line. And he only played 2 minutes. The freshman from Jackson, Mississippi. And
yeah, before this game, he's averaging 0 points, 0.3 rebounds, 0 for 0.
Yeah, so these are his first points of the season for Johnson. Averaged 28.6 points, 12 rebounds, and 3 assists in his senior high school season at Murrah High School.
Which high school?
Murrah. Same as his head coach. French. And that just kind of sums up the day for the VCU Wildcats. Johnson and the layup for Hunt. The game has kind of devolved into a shooting contest. And unfortunately, the Wildcats can't make any buckets. Dyson finally hits one. And Reggie Theus calls timeout. VCU softball just opened up their season down south at FAU. Went 1-3. Got a big win over Loyola Marymount on Saturday. And they'll be heading up to Jacksonville next weekend, Friday and Saturday for the Jacksonville Invitational. They'll play Penn State, one other team that escapes me at the moment, and the host Dolphins. So if you're in the area or can spare the time, get up there to support your Wildcats.
Yeah, another big-time D1 Penn State. And who is that other team?
I don't know. We will look it up for you and get that before the end of the game. But you definitely do, once the Wildcats return home to Sunnyland Park, you definitely want to go catch some Wildcats softball. The Wildcats, the reigning Eastern Division champions of the SWAC. 5-second violation, and it'll be VCU ball with 19 seconds to go. The Bethune-Cookman has scored 61 points tonight, which will make this not their lowest scoring conference effort of the season. Crazy bounce off the front of the rim, comes straight back to Dyson. French pulls up, front iron no good, and it looked like McIntyre and Garrett got in each other's way. And that's a foul with 3.3 seconds to go. On a night where a lot of things hung in the balance, it's Memphis is the team they're going to play. Again, Penn State and Jacksonville University, the softball team. But on a night where...
And North Florida's in that too, I think.
North Florida is one of the co-hosts for the tournament.
Got it.
But they host their own teams at North Florida. We are going to Jacksonville. I think the softball Cats play North Florida at one point, but that's a separate game.
So Jackson State has quietly stretched this out to what could be a 30-point game if they make this.
It is a 30-point game, and it is the largest margin of defeat in conference this year.
27.
Well, French hits a shot at the buzzer. It is slim consolation for the Wildcats, who dropped this one 91-64. And on a night that could have been so promising, the Wildcats come out flat and Jackson State punishes.
You know, you have to credit Jackson State with playing at such a high level. They were so relaxed. They shot unbelievably well from the field, from the three, from the line. They played their inside-out game to perfection, where they go into the big, kick it out for the open threes. We didn't react, and then we had an off night on the offensive end. We never got into a good rhythm. We never fully figured out how to attack their trapping wings. And, you know, when you do that in the SWAC, you wind up losing by a lot of points.
Here are the scoring totals for the night's contest. First for Bethune-Cookman, Marcus Garrett had 21, another big night for him, 6 of 6 shooting 8 of 11 from the free throw line. He also, he led everybody in rebounds with 10. So a cool double-double for Garrett. Another one. He had one on Saturday, too.
Yeah, good player. Very good player.
French had 16, 4 of 8 from beyond the arc. Harmon had 9. Davis and Dyson 5. Robertson 3. Henderson 2. McIntyre 2. Gudavicius just 1. Everybody who got in the game for the Wildcats did score. And for Jackson State, it's 21 for Adams on 8 of 11 shooting. He spent the last maybe 10 minutes on the bench and still scored 21 points. Evans had 18, Young 15, Mansell 11. Nobody had a double-double for the Tigers because nobody had double-digit rebounds. Mansell had 9 to lead the team.
How about assists when you get to that? How many assists? And how many did Adams have?
Adams had only 3 assists. Leading the way for Jackson State is Mansell with 6.
Yeah, that inside-out game where they went into the post and he kicked it out. That hurt us early.
Cook had 7, Johnson 5, Bell, Johnson, and Hunt had 2. Every player that got in the game for Jackson State scored. As the BCU band plays us out with the alma mater here, we'll take our leave here from Moore Gymnasium on the campus of Bethune-Cookman University. Once again, the next broadcast for BCU basketball on the Cat-Eye Network is the 27th of February as the Cats host Grambling State. For our entire crew here at the Cat-Eye Network at Moore Gymnasium, Eric Dennis alongside Michael Tomato, thank you so much for watching and have a very pleasant good evening.